Take one. Good afternoon, everyone out there in Infinity Land. That's for my grandkids, or our grandkids. I'll get a chuckle out of that. Today we are going to make a layered chicken and potato casserole. And pretty basic, it'll be delicious. We are going to talk about all the attributes of cooking, such as layers, colors, aroma, flavors, everything dealing with that. We're going to try to get it all in this one meal. So today we're going to start out with a couple chicken breasts and salt, pepper, and olive oil. 1 red onion, 2 potatoes, 1 egg, mayo, a big scoop of mayo, and a couple tomatoes. And that's all the ingredients. It's pretty simple. And those attributes we're talking about is layers. This is going to have several layers going into it. Color, as you can see, we have a variety of color. Texture is going to be the textures between the onions and the potato and the chicken. Flavors, obviously there'll be a lot of nice flavor in here. The aroma is what we're going to smell as we bake it, and then the visual, how we plate it. But one thing I forgot to mention is we're also going to add some garlic. So let's get started. Oh, and I forgot one of the most important ingredients is, let's see, back here, mozzarella cheese. There's our ingredients. So we're going to start by cutting the chicken into thin slices. Okay, we're going to put our chicken this way here, the way that we cut it. Don't forget to cover it. I use both sides of the pounder. So this is going to make one of the layers. Talked about all the different attributes, so this is going to be layers. Textures, I guess will be chickeny texture. We're pounding them out to make them nice and tender. Now it's all pounded out, so we're going to add some salt, pepper, and some olive oil. Maybe about 3 tablespoons of this. Gonna mix it up. Now we're just gonna let this sit around for a little bit while we prepare the next layer. Now we're gonna go for our bottom layer. Now, if you see with the ingredients, we have potatoes and red onion. It's a pretty big one. We only need about 3/4 of one. And a carrot. Now the carrot is something that is not part of the dish, but it's something that we need in order to make this. It's an old wives' tale, but I think it works. We're going to try it out today on TV. Okay, little secrets about cutting onions. If you want to cut something thin, always start by cutting a little flat spot on the bottom so it stands up. So it's a lot easier than the onion rolling around. So we're going to cut some thin slices. We're going to do enough just to cover the bottom of the pan. Let's see what we have going here. I'm going to cut these in half just so they're not all flat against the bottom, but they're kind of layered. I think we need some more. Just a little bit, couple more slices. Okay, it brought a few tears to my eyes. So now we're going to try this. This is what I've read about and heard about for a long time. I think my mother even told me this, but I never saw her do it. Go like this. It not only brings a smile to your face, but it makes me kind of laugh too. Now the reason what happens when you do this You know how typically the fumes come up in your eyes? With this, opens your mouth, makes you breathe through your mouth, and the fumes go into your mouth and rather than in your eyes. You know what? It seemed to work actually. I think it worked pretty well. So a couple more on the bottom and the layers here. So here is our first layer. So this is a layer, a texture, it's a color, two kinds of color. Next, we're gonna do our potato. Oh, we're gonna put a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, next layer. We don't need the carrot for this. Again, thin slices. Okay, now we're going to take these and layer on top of the onions. And now there's that layer. Olive oil, salt, pepper, and this. Oh no, not that. So that's the second layer we have. Now let's see what we have so far. We have the layers, we have the colors, we have red, and we have white, a little bit of black. I don't know if you want to consider that a flavor. Textures, two distinctly different textures. The flavors, two distinctly flavors. It's going to smell really good when it's cooked. And the visual, got to make it look pretty. Now next, we're going to take a third layer. And we're going to make sure that the whole top is completely covered with chicken. Okay, so we have that pretty covered. Now we're going to cover this with foil, and we're going to bake it 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. Voila. Okay, on our final layer, we're going to make a combination of diced tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, mayo, egg, and garlic. Let's start off by putting the cheese in. We're going to cut these into cubes. Mayo. Just a good big spoon of mayo. 1 egg. We're going to press 3 garlic cloves in here. Couple of tomatoes cubed. Put this in a final layer. Get the egg and the mayo all mixed in. We're gonna let this sit around until the chicken and potatoes done. And when that's done, we'll put it back in. Put this on top and back in the oven for 15 minutes. Looks nice. Okay, 40 minutes is up and we're ready to put on our final layer. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks pretty dandy. Okay, we're gonna put on this final layer here. Give it one little twist before. And it's going back in the oven for 15 minutes at the same temperature, 400 degrees. See you when it's done. Okay, the timer went off. Let's pull out our dinner. Oh, it smells delicious. Oh, look at that. Look at that. while we're waiting for this to cool, we're going to talk about the attributes of cooking that we are incorporating into this meal. First one is the layers. The bottom is the onion and potato layer. Second one is the chicken. And the third one is the cheese and the tomatoes and egg. And then next color, as you can see, the color is really nice. It has probably 4 different colors in there. The texture, we're going to feel different textures as we eat through it. The flavors, definitely the flavors, you can just smell it, and that comes to aroma. It just smells delicious. And then the visual, when we'll plate it on the plate, we'll look at it, and hopefully it takes a good picture. Okay, I think it's ready. We're going to cut into it. And while we were waiting for this to cook, I made some carrots. So here's our dish. It looks pretty visual. I'll give it an okay mark, I think. I think it'll be delicious. So this is Mark saying goodbye to infinity, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening. And again, I would like to say a tidy kitchen's a happy kitchen. And this is Mark from San Diego, broadcasting to Murano. Toodles!